Today, I'm going to be stronger than my excuses. The weather is finally getting chillier, work is slowing down, and I can think of 100 things I would rather be doing than housework. Unfortunately, I don't have a magical house or a cleaning fairy or even a housekeeper, so even though it was hard to get started, the end result was so worth it. We all have days where we're unmotivated and we're feeling distracted, so if that's you today and you're looking for some motivation to get cleaning around the house, then put this up on your phone or your TV and let's get to cleaning. If you've already been to my channel before, hello, welcome back. If you're new, hi, thank you all so much for clicking on today's video. My name is Carrie and I like to make real-life motivational cleaning videos. My house isn't perfectly organized or decorated. It is always a work in progress, but hopefully together we can build up the energy and motivation to put our phones down, get up, and do at least one thing around the house today, whether it's making your bed, doing the dishes, cleaning out the fridge, or organizing one drawer around the house. Maybe it's gardening or yard work. Clean out your car, but a little bit each day will help you stay on top of things and your future self will thank you. Get started today. I'm going to start with the laundry. I folded that whole load and next I'm going to start separating my kids' laundry so I can get that going. And watching this footage back, I am actually feeling so happy and proud. Because if you have been to my channel before and you watched me clean my room, you are familiar with that box that's in the shot right now. And also the fact that I don't clean some corners of my room because it's like my husband's stuff. Honestly, it just takes over our entire dresser, and we have a few boxes that have been in our room that he just needed to go through and clean out some of his things. And he finally got the energy and the motivation to tackle that all yesterday. And mind you, we kind of were forced to stay home because he was recovering from being sick, but he took the time to go through all these boxes here and also clean off his entire dresser and organize collectibles. And he got rid of 2 whole bags of trash. So it feels much better in this room, and we didn't film it, but you will definitely see the difference in my next video. But while my husband was doing that, I was cleaning our bathroom, and I thought, well, now I can finally focus on redecorating our bedroom. I'd like to paint in here and replace the curtains and get new furniture. And now that that obstacle that was in our way is cleared, I have the mental capacity to finally move on to that next step. So we have been really focusing on clearing out the old to make space for the new. And with the holiday season coming up, it's just super important. And it's something I'm sure we can all work on. My dog likes to hide in my closet, so I'm making sure to give it a really good vacuum here. And then I noticed a little stain, and so I'm using the Resolve Urine Destroyer to treat it. This cleaner not only removes stains, but it also treats with enzymes to kill the smell. And it did a good job of getting the stain and the smell out, but I can still see a difference in texture on the carpet. And so you're supposed to let it sit for 5 minutes. And so while that's doing its thing, I'm just going to be cleaning the mirrors. And eventually we're going to actually just replace the floors in this room altogether, so the carpet will come out anyway. For my mirrors, I'm currently using the Sprayway glass cleaner. It is always my favorite glass cleaner, but I have been using Norwex and their glass polishing cloth recently, but just I feel like when I use the Norwex, I rinse it out into the sink, and maybe I need to get a bucket to carry around with me and like rinse it out in a bucket, but I feel like it's clogging my drains with all the dust, and I'd rather just wipe it all down and get it out. And I feel like the cleaner really helps to do that. And so as much as I want to be more natural, I also just feel like this does a better clean. By the way, if you can hear my kids screaming in the background, I do apologize, but they are playing, so it's not bad screams. It's all good. I'm using the Libman Spin Mop today. I do actually love this mop. I went to the store and I originally wanted to buy the O-Cedar. and they were out of stock, but I was in urgent need of a mop, and I had been using my steam mop, but that got clogged because we have hard water, and I can't just keep buying distilled water to put into my small appliances, guys. So I switched over to the spin mop, and since they didn't have it, I went with this one. This is at a lower price point than the O-Cedar, and so that's great. I do think that the O-Cedar is better in terms of design, and it has like a more triangular shaped mop head. This one's round, so it's hard to get in the corners. It also doesn't have the clean water chamber, whereas the O-Cedar does. But of course, I mean, you get what you pay for. So if you want to spend that extra money to get the O-Cedar, I probably would honestly do that. I do think that the design was a little confusing, and like putting it together, I was like, what the heck? Like, it doesn't really come with very clear instructions. But once I figured it out, I mean, it's really easy to use, and it actually cleaned my floors better than my steam mop. So I like it, and I think when I do replace it, I will get a O-Cedar, but it works great in the meantime, and it does kill 99% of bacteria with water alone, just based on the technology with the mop head.
Okay, so I have laundry I need to put away. Also, I wait for my husband. He helps me. And then I have more laundry to do. I just need to get it off the floor. And I got to take some of these chargers downstairs. Everything is nice and clean. The floor is drying in here. Just needed to wipe it down. Ignore the broken cabinet. I just want it off the floor. But I did clean my bathroom just a couple days ago, so I just needed to wipe down the counters pretty much. But it smells so nice in here. Feels much better.
This is one of our kitties, Link. We've raised him since he was about 4 weeks old. He's about 6 months old now. My husband found him and his siblings on a job site, and they watched for a few days before they decided that mom was gone and the kitties needed to be rescued. So he's my newest little shadow, and I'm just moving down in the kitchen now. I actually filmed this on a Saturday, and so the kids were home for lunch, and normally when they are home for lunch, I'll kind of clean the kitchen while I cook for them. So I'm gonna get the dishwasher emptied and get those dishes reloaded and the counters wiped down. This video was filmed a few weeks ago, so we still had Halloween decorations up. So I'm taking those down and just leaving the neutral fall ones, which we will be taking down next week, and moving on into full-on Christmas. And I just feel overwhelmed, guys. I'm not ready. I always say I'm going to get a head start on Christmas shopping, but it always sneaks up on me. And so I am in crunch mode now. I've bought one gift, but definitely be sure to watch out for some of my Christmas videos coming out in early December. My vacuum is the Dyson V11 Torque, and I do actually love this vacuum, especially for a cordless vacuum. I had corded vacuums before, and they honestly didn't work as well. Also, I felt like I couldn't vacuum as often, or maybe not that I couldn't, but that I just didn't want to because I had to just lug around this thing. But this is definitely more convenient. It's lighter. You don't have to plug it in here and there. It does have a very long battery life. I would say if you're using the eco mode, that you can get up to an hour of use. And if you use turbo, I'd say probably 20 minutes. But I don't normally use the turbo mode. I'd say maybe only for my car, certain areas do I have to turn on turbo mode. But I did have my mother-in-law come over. She was in the market for a vacuum, and so she tried it out. She's in her 60s, and she had some dislikes about it, which it didn't occur to me. But if you do have any joint issues, for example, this probably wouldn't be the vacuum for you. It doesn't have a trigger lock, and so you have to continuously hold down the trigger. And also, it is a little bit more expensive. I think this one was around $500. Honestly, it was a gift from my uncle, a housewarming gift. I probably wouldn't have dropped the money on this vacuum. I probably would have followed my mother-in-law's footsteps and went for the Tinko. She got the Tinko, and it's very comparable to this vacuum, but admittedly, I haven't used the Tinko, so I don't know how different it is in terms of suction power. So I am very happy though with the Dyson V11. I know they have great customer service and they have good warranties. And so I do like this vacuum, but that's just something to keep in mind if you have joint issues or anything like that. It is a little more pricey too. Night 2, and it is pretty late, so my husband decided he was going to help me go ahead and get both the kids' rooms in order and clean. It had been quite some time since we were in here and really gave it a good clean. I usually trust the kids to kind of come in here and tidy up, but they don't clean as well as we do, and so he's helping me since it's a little bit later, and we're just getting this all sorted out and freshened up. And I'm not fully making the bed since they're going to be getting in soon anyway. But yes, that was me. That little photo, actually, it's a cutout that my daughter, she cut out from a package I was on when I was younger. I used to do modeling and acting. I have 2 of those packages, so I have the one that's unopened, and then she was like, I want this in my room, and so she's had it for years, actually. She just keeps in here, and she likes looking at like my portfolio, and I have a few boxes that I currently have that I'm on, and she loves. She's played with like the nail kits that I've done. This was for a jewelry making kit that I was on, and it's just fun. I loved that time of my life. It's a very happy memory for me. I have definitely always loved being in front of the camera. That's for sure. One other thing about my daughter is that she is so crafty. She loves all things crafts. Like, she always is making things, and I've also thought about making her like her own little Instagram with all her creations and her ideas, but I had to take some paint marker off of her vanity that she got on there. She had like a gold paint marker and she got it all over, but it did come off with a Clorox wipe. So I was actually surprised because I thought for sure it was not coming off, but it did come off. So I'm thankful for that. This is how the room turned out. I was able to get most of the gold paint marker off. Like I said, you could still see a little bit of yellow shine there, but I'm very pleased that I was able to get it off because I thought for sure it was not coming up. So I'm moving on into my son's room now. He keeps it pretty tidy in here, but I just wanted to freshen up the bed and the space for him before he gets in bed for the night. Another thing on my to-do list is to declutter both of the kids' closets, especially with Christmas coming up. And like I said earlier, I really want to get rid of the old stuff to make space for the new, especially since a lot of the stuff in their closets we've shoved in there because they don't really play with it anymore. And so it'll feel really good once I can cross that off my list, because then I can focus on other projects that need to get done. And since this is at the top of my priority list right now, it's so hard to see past that. And so knowing that that is a major energy blockage for me right now is lighting the fire even more for me to get it done. Like, my energy can't flow to other things when my thoughts are consumed with one thing. And that goes for anything in your life. Your thoughts create your reality. So if you're hyper focused on one thing that you are obsessing over, it isn't allowing for other thoughts to come through. New thoughts, new ideas, new inspiration. So just be mindful of what you're listening to, thinking about, watching, and focusing your energy on, because that can definitely get you stuck in a rut. And if you feel like you are in a rut, then you need to refocus your energy on more positive things. And you can do that by practicing gratitude. Just think about 3 things daily that you're grateful for, and research shows that doing this actually rewires the connections in our brain to think more positively naturally. It's a muscle. You gotta work it. And if you are grateful for someone or something that they did for you, then tell them, because the brain scans that they did in this research showed the brain just going off. And so gratitude can also set off a chain of positivity in others. So then they feel grateful that you're grateful, and it actually is affecting all of our brains. They did brain scans, like I said, and I don't know exactly what hormone it is, if it's dopamine or what it is, but it definitely was just a positive thing that you could do to help rewire your brain and just be more mindful and positive in your life. And being mindful helps you just to figure out what it is that you're doing with your time, not only physically, but also mentally, so that you can meet your goals and refocus your energy and your time and your thoughts to meet your goals. So here's the before shot just to remind you of what it looked like, and the after. My son came in and he was like, "Oh my gosh, you haven't made my bed in like 2 weeks." He was so excited, and he was like, "It feels so good when you make my bed." And that was something that I didn't know that meant so much to him. And so I definitely think about that now, because like I said, I've been busy with work, and I don't force them to make their beds before they go to school. Like, we have enough trouble as it is getting out the door on time to make it to school. So I don't make them make their beds. A lot of times I'll just go in there and make it, but sometimes I don't even do that. And nobody even goes upstairs during the day, especially on weekdays, really. So admittedly, I just let it go. I do like to make my bed because that is something that I like doing, and I like getting into a made bed at the end of the day. And I didn't realize that it was important to him too. So I'm glad that he shared that with me.
What did you do to my table?
What did you do to my table? Did you do this? You did, huh? Good morning, everyone. It is day 3 of this clean with me, and if you watched my channel before, you know that I am a work from home mom, so it really takes me like a whole week to really get all my chores done around the house. A lot of the more detailed projects like organizing and decluttering, that stuff I have to like schedule into my day or into my week rather. I have to like build up enough energy to tackle those projects, and so I've just been really enjoying the gloomy, rainy weather. I need to tackle this dining room area with baby kitty. Hi. Kisses. Come here. Say hello. Say hello to the people on YouTube. Hi, babies. So yeah, I'm going to put away my Halloween decorations, and especially this hutch has quite a bit of stuff that I need to take down. And we'll just enjoy some fall decor for a little bit before we really transition into Christmas. And I'm really excited for Christmas this year because I am hosting, so I definitely need to get ready and decorate for that. Yeah, hopefully I don't have too much cleaning to do today, just this undecorating. And oh yeah, and I want to make some chicken broth because I want to make some soup this week, probably tomorrow, because tomorrow's supposed to be the coldest day of the week. It's going to be 58 degrees, and I know that some of you on the East Coast are probably laughing, but that is cold for us here. But I am really happy because I love soup, and I love to make bone broth. I actually do have a bone broth recipe way back, probably 2 years ago, that I shared, but I am going to be making some today, so I'll definitely film that for you guys too, in case you are interested. It has tons of benefits besides being not processed. You can control the salt level that you put in it, and also bone broth does have, and it's not proven, but they're said to have certain health benefits like added collagen into the broth and nutrients from the bone marrow. I personally do think that it does have nutrients from the bone marrow and all that, and so you do draw those nutrients out as you simmer it all day, and so I should really get that started soon. But anyways, I need to stop talking. Let's get going. I have a lot to do. I also work, like I said. I've been working this morning. It's been a light work day, and my son is home sick with me again for the second week in a row. He was sick last week a couple days, and now he has something different. It's the season. And yeah, so I have to go in about an hour to go get my daughter from school, so I also have to eat lunch still. So I don't wanna guys. I just want to cuddle and watch movies, but let's go. Halloween in our house, but we didn't go too crazy with the decorations, so I just needed a couple things to be taken down here, and I couldn't get that garland down because my husband decided to staple it into the wall, which I was not happy about, but they're not done with that wall actually, so I'm getting ready to finish it myself. I'm losing a little bit of patience, but I do have to be patient because they have a working relationship with my husband, and they've helped us out a lot actually with the reconstruction on our house. Like, we got really good deals on the cabinets and the floor and all that thanks to them. But I'm moving on to the bone broth. I had some chicken thighs that I was not going to use, and then I'm just picky about my chicken. I like white meat chicken, and so I was like, I'll make chicken broth with it. And then I always keep my scraps of my vegetables throughout the month. I put them in a Ziploc bag and just keep it in the freezer. Any carrot shavings or celery that you're not using, like the end of the stalks or anything like that, onion scraps, all of it. And I just freeze it. And you can add also any bundles of herbs that you might have, a bay leaf even you could put in there. I probably should try that next time. just depending on what kind of flavor profile you're going for and what kind of bones you're using. Today, since I'm using the chicken, I'm just keeping it simple and light. And look at this gorgeous color already. And that's just from probably the turmeric that I seasoned the chicken with. And I just did also salt and pepper. I added fresh garlic. And like I said, you can just save your vegetable scraps throughout the month and just make your vegetable broth. It comes out so tasty. I would recommend not doing any cruciferous vegetables, like no broccoli stalks or cabbage or anything like that, really, because it won't come out very tasty. Feels so good having the fire lit, having the broth simmering, and smelled delicious. The candles lit, the house is clean. It is just the most peaceful feeling. That's why I love doing it. This is after 2 hours of pressure cooking. I'm gonna strain all the scraps out, and I strain it a few times actually. I use mesh strainers as well, and even when I go to actually cook, because it has like, it's sediment. I don't know how to explain it. It will settle at the bottom of the mason jar or whatever container that you're storing it in. I also use like the screw-on plastic containers for my freezer, and I can freeze the broth as well. And I was planning on using it like the very next day, so I'm going to use this giant mason jar that I have. And so I'm scooping it into my cup here, and I'm going to strain it some more. But also, if you decide to make this on the stove and you want to simmer it all day, you can either put the cover on your pot, or you can leave it open, and it's gonna concentrate it way more in the flavor, but you'll have to keep adding water throughout the day. Like, I've made it that way, and I've used probably 20 cups of water, and it reduces down to like a quart. So it just depends on how strong you want the flavor and what color also you're going for. The other thing is this: if you boil it too quickly and rapidly, that it will actually become cloudy. So if you want a more clear broth, then low and slow is the way you want to do it. Already see that layer of collagen forming on the top. It's good for your hair, it's good for your skin, it's good for your nails. And we, like I said, made a delicious chicken and gnocchi soup, which I will post the recipe down below. It is super authentic to the Olive Garden one if you've ever had it there. My husband and I both worked there for years, and this is the closest one that we found to the restaurant. It was so good. You guys have to make it this winter. But thank you so much again for stopping by and clicking on this video today. Don't forget to subscribe, like this video if you made it this far, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.